Welcome to the Cannon County Chamber Connection. This is our April edition, and of course, spring is here. And we first of all want to thank DTC Communications for making this possible. And we can't let this go without mentioning the Reederville damage from the tornadoes last week. Many people lost their homes and their belongings, and it just about leveled most of the homes out there along Reederville Street. Along with those was the historic Reederville Mill, which is very little of it left, if any. And we had Russell's Market, the Corners, which was an event center and a bed and breakfast. It did damage to just about everything in Reederville, and so we certainly want to make people aware of that. And if you wanted to give to that or give to think something that would help that, the American Red Cross is there to help these people, because many of them, it took their homes and their businesses.
Well, a side note on that, if you also want to give, I'm sure at the time of the taping, this will still be around, Capstar Bank here in Woodbury has a fund set up so you can go in and give. Another side note to this, with the destruction of the many homes and stuff, there were several homes that several people did not have insurance on their homes. There was a lady that lived down on Reederville Street. They talked about that she had insurance, but the insurance was going to just cover $74,000 worth of damage, which wouldn't, cover anything at all for her. So these people are in desperate need of funds to help out, and there's going to be some events that we'll be talking about, I'm sure, that will be benefits for these people. And of course, you can still give to the American Red Cross. The New Hope Church of Christ right now, and this is over a couple of weeks, they've got plenty of supplies and donations to where they can't house anything more. Now that might change in the next month, because this is going to be a month-by-month basis. But
the cleanup
right now,
alone will take is astronomical just to clean up the damage, because many of those, it absolutely leveled them. There's nothing left. So, and of course we're a small community, and Cannon County will help take care of Cannon Countyans, they will. And they've been great about doing that so far, along with the state and many of the disaster teams that go down there, right? Rutherford
County has done a great job. The Sheriff's Department and the government has done a great job, because it hit Reederville Street, as many know, is on the Cannon-Rutherford County line. And one of the Rutherford County officials, when asked about it, he said, he goes, there's no county line here. We're going to help Cannon County just as much as we expect Cannon County to help us.
Well, that's true.
And so it's all one county, one big group of help, and everybody's come together, and it's really made good strides. They talked about yesterday there were 60 truckloads of garbage, and you're talking about debris and whatnot going to the landfill. That's 60 semi. Truckloads, where they fill the compactor up and they take the truck onto the landfill up in Murfreesboro. There's people that have been coming outside the county. Some of the state officials have been really impressed with the way the cleanup has been organized since day one. They've talked about how, in some areas that they've been in the state, we've done more in 3 days since Saturday than some areas can do in a month as far as cleaning up is concerned. So it's a really good testament to not only Cannon County, but the area of people that have come to help. Providence Christian Academy has come out to help. They brought their football team to come out to help on Saturday and Sunday to clean up. Many, many volunteers in all areas.
Well, you've got FEMA that I'm sure has been there, and the American Red Cross was there immediately the next day after that happened. And of course, This is Wednesday that we're doing this, so the forecast is we're supposed to have more storms tonight, but hopefully they won't be so dramatic. It seems like we're having more of them and they're worse. But anyway, we just want everybody to be safe. He did mention that there'll probably be a lot of benefits on behalf of Readable. And one of them that is coming up that I just learned about today is going to be on, let me see, the 6th of May. And that will be a car show and a motorcycle ride. Now, the car show will be on the square in Woodbury, and it will start at 9 a.m. in the morning on that Saturday. The motorcycle ride will start at Hop Springs, and they will ride they will take off at noon, and they will ride up to Short Mountain Distillery. And I'm sure there's going to be a charge for the car show and the motorcycle ride too, but all of that money will go to benefit what's going on in Readable at this time. So we want to thank Beans Diesel, is the one who called me and told me about the car show. But that will be on the 6th of May, so if you're interested in showing, then come on down. Like I say, they will be starting at 9 a.m. Okay, we have a couple of guests already here, and then a couple of more that's supposed to show up. And we have with us today Deborah Leach, who is, of course, with the Senior Center. And her biggest fundraising event for the year, I believe, is the Cannon County Good Old Days. And that is going to be on May 12th and 13th, right?
Yes, it is.
Just tell them what they can expect to see at the Good Old Days.
All right. Well, as we know, it's our 17th year.
That's amazing.
The Senior Center hosting it for 17 years, but it's been around much longer.
Right.
So it is an established event here, but we have everything from a parade to a dog show, beauty pageants for all ages, from babies to senior adults. We have food vendors, craft vendors, informational vendors, just about everything that
Are you going to
festival
have
would.
school events this year?
We are going to try. It's still being coordinated a little different because we don't have all the schools to compete against each
Well,
other.
that's right. I forgot about that, Deborah. You're right.
Yes. So we've been talking about maybe doing a grade competition between grades, but we still do want to have it, and I have reserved Dillon Park. So
Okay.
it's under coordination.
So we're going to have something down there, aren't we?
We'll have something. Yes. You and I may have to do sack races, Carolyn.
Well, that should be interesting. You may want to buy a ticket for
Can we
that.
get DTC to come out and videotape that? I'll call the play-by-play.
I'm sure they would.
No, hopefully we'll be able to work that out. We will also have live music, entertainment on stage throughout the event. The event starts on May 12th and kicks off with our senior events because that would be at 12 noon because May is Older Americans Month. And so we always try to showcase our seniors to kick off the event during May. And so we'll have our bingo on stage. Adoration always sponsors that. And then we will have the talent show, Seniors Got Talent. And after that, we will have our senior Ms. pageant.
Okay.
So that kind of kicks off Good Old Days every year.
On Friday. If you were going to set up, what are your rules on that? If you were going to set up a booth or a...
As far as being a vendor,
You're right.
yeah. Well, we have our forms online. Of course, craft vendors, informational vendors, retail vendors typically purchase a 10 by 10 tent space. Our food vendors, it is a little bit more expensive because requiring a generator plus a larger space, health department inspection and so forth. But our forms are online at our website, at cannoncountygoodoldays.com. So you can get vendor forms there, sponsor forms. We have some great sponsors already this year, platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. And then our silver and bronze actually sponsor particular events that we have. Of course, our platinum and gold sponsor the entire festival. So those forms are online as well as all of our pageant forms. We also have our pageant forms at the Cannon County Senior Center, as we always do, outside the door, so you don't have to come in. Over the weekend, you can pick one up. Through the week, at night, we try to make that convenient. So those are online and at the Senior Center as well.
You know, I was talking with someone this week about festivals and this type of thing. And I remember when the chamber sponsored the festivals here in town. And I told them, I says, you know, everything with the festival, I mean, I could line up vendors and entertainment and everything. The one thing I didn't want to have any part of anymore was the pageants, because everybody except the winners goes home mad. So I thought, no, I don't want any of this.
Well, we try to emphasize
Fair play.
we want everybody to have fun.
Don't pull hair.
And enjoy themselves and have a good time, because it is a time to socialize with friends too. It's a time to get dressed up, and that's fun. But yes, not everybody can win. So hopefully, you know, as we do the rehearsals, we emphasize that.
What I have to tell you is, if your baby doesn't win, it doesn't mean they're the ugliest baby in Cannon County.
And another thing is, if the baby doesn't win, the baby's not going to have hard feelings, I promise you. Unless you videotape it and show the kid later in life. You know? Like, here, little Johnny, you didn't win this.
It's usually not
Johnny
the
throws a
kids.
fit.
It's not the kids that go on mad. It's Grandma and Grandpa.
Have you seen the baby show in the last few years? Watched
Yeah,
it?
last year I think I seen a little bit of it.
Well, we Concert Productions does our sound, and they're really good. The last maybe 3 years, they provided some kid music that they love, and the kids are on stage dancing and having a good time.
See, I like
and
that.
bouncing with the music. So it's kid friendly. It's, you know, music they like, and they have a good time. So we try to make it fun for them.
Well, this is good. Maybe you should get the grandparents and the aunts and uncles and mom and daddy up there.
Get them some bouncing music for the grandparents. Yeah, I can see that.
And that's another thing. Usually you have some entertainment type rides for kids there. Like last year, I remember
Yes.
you had a parachute thing where they'd strap them in and jerk them off the ground.
Well, it's sort of like bungee jumping, but a little bit different way. But yes, that's zero gravity, and he will be back this year.
Yeah, he told me
Very,
he
very
would.
popular. And we also have a vendor, Paradise Amusement, who has kids' games. And then Plainview Baptist Church, again, will be there with their bouncy houses, their train ride.
Right.
And they do all of that free for the community, for the children. They don't charge
Right.
for that.
Well, that's
as
really
far
cute.
as
That train's really
Plainview.
cute.
Yeah. So,
is.
so there will be several things for the kids to enjoy during the festival as well.
We just
Not
hope
to
for
hit a
good
sore
weather.
subject, but I don't think that Axeman will be back, will he?
No, I believe their business closed here. So
They did.
They haven't been
So no throwing
last
axes at
year
the...
or this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big event in a lot of places. I see it more now than when it first started here. I thought, what? You can go in there and throw axes at each other. But in other places, that's a big event. It didn't go over well here.
Well,
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 it
as
did
far as
for-
the business,
it
but
did for a
at the-
while.
At
Good old days, it was
the
very
good old
popular.
days, it was popular.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go down there and, I guess, and throw an axe. I don't know. No
hopefully-
telling what I'd hit if I did.
They put you in a little container.
myself?
No, they put you in a little spot, and it's designated. It's not like you get to go around the parking lot of the courthouse and just throw axes at whatever you want.
It's a target. Oh, my goodness.
Just seemed downright dangerous to me.
Well, we're going to have lots of food vendors, so maybe people will come to eat.
Well, they do. They
A
do.
lot of good food and some different vendors this year. So not just food, but all around.
Right.
So craft and so
Yeah.
forth. So I
Well,
think
now, people like the craft vendors, they do.
So that-
And then I'm sure our organizations that come out every year for that, are probably set up a booth too, so.
yes. Yes, we've got several already. And I will say that the spaces are dwindling down as far as our vendors. So if you want to come, it's a great opportunity, a fundraiser for schools or any kind of church organization, youth groups, and so forth. And so a lot of our spaces are selling pretty quickly this year.
Let me ask you something, Deborah. I had one ask me, because a lot of them call the chamber. If they're new, they don't know where else to call, so they just call to get
Sure.
information. But do they, you don't really encourage people that have individual booths to have entertainment in them, do you?
Entertainment.
Right, like music and
In the
this type,
booth?
yeah.
Well, I've never been approached with that before.
Well, I told them they didn't want something that would compete
Right. Well,
with your entertainment that's on stage.
well, we want everybody to be able to hear the entertainment on stage, and if
Right.
there's entertainment in a booth, it's going to probably distract
Okay.
from on stage, but also be
I'm just
noisy.
making sure.
Noisy for their neighbors, their other vendors beside of them. So
Well,
that,
what I'm thinking, probably the reason why she was being asked that is maybe they were looking to set up like, hey, can we have a TV going on, or can we have a radio?
No,
or a
they had
loudspeaker?
music.
Oh, they had music.
live music.
Oh, well. Well, basically what they need to do is see Deborah, and Deborah will put them on the stage.
We may put them on the stage.
Yeah.
We've got a whole backstage. We just have the dog show on the backstage, and that's just a block of time. So the rest of the time, that's open. So that
Yeah.
might be a good.
I
They
think
might be able to provide background music for the dogs.
I think these people were wanting something to encourage people to come to their booth.
Okay, a draw. I see. Okay.
So I kind of discouraged that for you, and I was hoping that you would say just what you said.
Okay. Well, I'll be glad to talk
But
to
now we know, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Now, this takes place on Friday and Saturday, May 12th and 13th, and you really start it at noon on Friday, don't you?
We do, but as you know, vendors are set up Thursday night to get everything ready, and so vendors will be open more than likely on Friday morning, some of them, but just as far as kicking off our on-stage events, that will start at noon. Of course, school events will start earlier than that at Dillon Park, usually at 10
Right.
o'clock. And then all day on Saturday from 8 o'clock in the morning till we finish, which is usually around 11 o'clock in the
Okay.
evening.
So there you are. Dress up your babies and your teenagers and your dogs. Bring them down there and and show them at the good old days. I think that's great. I think the animals and I love the pageants as long as I don't have to deal with
Yes.
them. That's just me, but anyway. Well, I look forward to it. We have this every year, and people do look
We
forward to
do.
it.
We look forward to it, and I think the community looks forward to it.
They do. And a lot of people, we encourage people from out of town to come in too, because you'll have a good time. You will. And then, like I say, you can always shop the stores or
Yes.
eat at the stores, but you'll have plenty of food around the square if that's what you like. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Deborah, I forgot your name, Beth. We have Beth McQuarrie, and she is the director of the Art Center. And they always have something going on as well. And of course, right now, you've got Moon Over Buffalo that is taking center stage, right?
Correct. It ends April 16th. We don't have a showing on Easter. So we added another Sunday.
Oh,
at the end.
okay, I seen that.
We have that going on. The next thing is James and the Giant Peach. It's one of our school series, so there's 2 public performances, one on May 6th and one on May 13th. And we may end up adding shows on those days, but anyway, we do that show for throughout the year, we do 3 school shows, and there's probably about 8,000 kids that come through the doors for all those school shows during the year. It's a big undertaking.
It is.
It's very busy here. We also have the Jake Leg Stompers concert, May 26th and 27th. If you've never seen them, you're in for a treat.
They're a big draw.
They are a big draw. They're a lot of fun to watch, and they're very good musicians also. Then we have our summer camp coming up. We have 2 junior camps for grades 1 through 6 and a senior camp for 7 through 12. And the 2 juniors are in June, and the senior is in July, and there is a showcase at the end. So any kiddos coming or interested at all, they should come. It's a lot of fun. We have music, drama, and movement or dance. So there's a lot happening during those 2 weeks. Let's see. We also have auditions coming up. This month we have Bright Star auditions and School of Rock auditions, and then we'll have Midsummer Night's Dream coming up.
Okay.
Auditions for that.
That School of Rock, that seems interesting. That's taking over that movie that Jack Black was in,
Jack
correct?
Black was in it. Yeah, it'll be a fun show
Yeah.
to watch. Yeah, can't wait for that. Anybody young who can play an instrument, come on out.
There is a kid, I'm telling you, there's a kid at Canyon County High School, and our next guest might be able to help me pinpoint this kid out. He plays a steel guitar or bass guitar, and this dude can make it rock. He's part of the band program. He played the national anthem at a couple of the basketball games this year. That's how I stumbled on him. I think his name is Luke Odom. I think that's his name. Like I say, these 2 behind us might be able to help us out with the name. But that's somebody that you need to talk to see if he can come help you, because this kid can play.
Well, good.
Well, they're having rehearsals for it.
auditions.
Well, I don't know how to get a hold of him to tell him.
Well, all of that is on our
Crystal
website.
can tell you that.
Yeah, Crystal can. Actually, I don't know if he's a high schooler or if he's I know he did some high school, but he also did some middle school national anthems as well. So I'm not for sure what grade he's in, but he's a young man that has got a bright future if he sticks with it.
Well, all our audition information is on our website, what we're looking for, what the times are, et cetera. You can buy tickets online, so everything you need is on our website. But you can also call us at 615-563-2787. We have a race coming up here, too. Do you have that
Yeah,
information?
Cannon Runs
I
for
do have
Children.
Yeah, okay, so you're going to talk
Yeah.
about that, but we have a couple races here this year, actually. But there's always something going on here, so we also rent out the space we're in right here for different events. We've had wedding receptions, we've had birthday parties, so if that's of interest to you, you can also call us.
Okay. And we have a little organic store that's
Yes.
connected with the Art Center that sells a lot of organic and fermented type foods and specialty items. And it's a great little place to go in and look around. You can get some sugar-free candy there that's really good.
They have a lot of vegetarian items.
They
too.
do. And some of them are fresh items, you know, it's fresh vegetables and goat's milk and goat
Yeah,
cheese
goat
and
cheese, that kind of thing. They do. They have a lot in there.
have a lot in there. So there's always something to see down here. They've got a great gift shop here at the Art Center. They're all artisans, so when you come in and look at the items, you're not going to find a table of socks. These are all made by artisans. Well, I mean, a lot of the places you go, they'll have tables of socks and all that. You're not going to find that here. But you are going to find some of our really talented people with artwork and pottery and woodworking. There's a man that does wooden toys that I just love. The wooden toys are great. Kids use their imagination when they use wooden toys. Okay. Is there anything else going on, Beth, you want to talk to us about?
I don't think so. I think that's it. Just go online or follow us on Facebook or get on and you can also get on our email list if you go online. There's a place to click on there. And then we'll send you emails about what's happening.
I will mention that the White Oaks Craft Festival that the Art Center sponsors every year is in September. That is a juried craft fair, so I've had a few calls of people wanting to know if they can set up a table there. You have to be approved to be in that show, so you need to call the Art Center and speak with Beth or
Heather,
about
yeah, there's
that.
a jury committee. It's a board that decides. It has to be all handmade.
Okay. Well, now you've got the lowdown on that.
Yep.
And next, we're going to have some students from Cannon County High School that are going to be with us. And they have something every year that I just love this, to tell you the
Okay, I
truth.
was about ready to say, can we get Emily over here? Because I want to start this off.
Get you a chair right there.
No, we need to talk to you too. I've got something I need to ask you.
What's your name, hon?
Braylon Teachout, BR.
Now, wait a minute here. Put your name down there, right there.
Are you?
We've got a
Just
plant
right out
sale
there.
coming up on the 15th, but before we talk about that plant sale, the Cannon County FFA program went up to, well, I guess it's Woodbury FFA program, went up to Gatlinburg. Did you not?
We did,
Yeah,
over
to
spring break.
participate in the 95th annual FFA convention. You had Tim Spry as a guest speaker.
We did.
And you guys racked it up, didn't you?
We did. We took 36 students. They forfeited their spring break.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we competed in everything from farm business management, agri-science fair, quiz bowl, meats evaluation, food science, an array of contests, and then we squeezed in some fun things here and there as well.
Yeah. Braylon, you got to go to this, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how was it for you?
It was fun. Actually, I was meat judging, and we got 5th out of 62 teams.
How do you judge meat?
You can do it off the cut, off of, like, you can answer questions over them. They give you questions to answer.
Yeah. Had it
Like
just-
what?
The questions? Like which one is the most tender, which one, where did it come from, the loin, the chop.
Was it a pig or a cow or?
Yes.
Okay, I was just kidding, but all right.
Yeah, they do a lot. And you catch all the, we're going to put a thing in the Cannon Courier this week.
Yep. Mr. Foster actually trained our farm business management team, won the state contest.
Yeah.
And so they will go on to compete at nationals this fall. So that was a team of 4 trained by Mr. Foster, and then McCarley was actually on the Quiz Bowl team, and they were state runner-ups out of 113 teams, I believe, competed in that
Right,
contest.
yeah.
So
Well, I'm impressed.
there's a whole
I
slew
really
of
am.
kids, yeah.
They really did a great job in Cannon County, representing Woodbury and Cannon County in the FFA program.
Yeah, just last week, McCarley and Braylon both, we went to the regional nursery and landscape and floriculture contest, 2 separate contests. So we had 8 kids. Floriculture ended up regional winners. We advanced to the state contest next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday, and nursery and landscape was regional runner-up, so they compete as well. The top 4 go to the state contest. So
Okay, where will it be held?
I think it's at Tennessee Tech. The
Oh,
regional
okay.
contest was at the Wilson County Fairgrounds.
Okay.
And so their county extension agent kind of hosted and planned it for us, or for the, I guess, FFA staff.
Right.
And so the next one is at TTU. So we went right from one thing to the next.
Oh, well, all right. Well, this is good. This
Well,
is
we're
really
jumping
good.
from competition to plants, because we got a huge plant sale. You ought to see this, Carolyn. Their
I've seen it
greenhouse.
before, and I do want to explain that Cannon County High School and the FFA program have had their own greenhouses for several years now. And every year, usually before Mother's Day, they start their sales, right, for their plants in the greenhouse.
Yes.
And what is your opening day?
Our opening day is on Saturday, April 15th at 7 a.m. We encourage all of the public and community to come early as we sell out pretty fast in the previous years.
How many greenhouses do you have?
We have 2.
Okay. And mainly yours are flowers, right? Not so much vegetables. Do you have
Yes, ma'am.
vegetables?
We do have vegetables. We
you?
have tomatoes and
We have tomatoes and peppers right now as our
Okay.
vegetables, but everything else is either greenery or flowers or something along those
Right.
lines.
So you've got some ferns
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
and hanging baskets?
Yes, ma'am.
How much are your hanging baskets?
Our hanging baskets are priced at 15. Our ferns are 16, and then everything else we have is 15 and under.
Okay, so you actually sell flats of flowers,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes,
Okay, or individual pots or whatever. Well, I think this is great, and I think, what does this money go for your future greenhouses, or what does that go to help finance the FFA programs, or?
It goes towards our FFA to help us, like, and our
Okay.
kids.
For your competitions and whatnot, correct?
Yes.
Y'all do?
Yeah, we travel all the time.
I know you do.
And then a lot of our trips, you know, when we go to national convention in the fall, we're gone for 5 days, 4 nights, and we go to tours and different industry stops. And so a lot of that, I mean, the travel alone and mileage is one thing. So we'll alleviate a lot of the costs. So say if the trip costs $500 per kid, we might only charge the student themselves $250.
Right.
And so we just do it to kind of lessen that financial burden. It also goes towards just contributing towards our classroom stuff. If we're doing labs or hand-on activities, it'll go towards that. We actually are adding and building a livestock barn adjacent to our pavilion behind the school. We
Well,
recently
all right.
excavated the 6 acres behind the ag pavilion and greenhouses.
Right.
So right now it's going to be going towards fence post and T-post and woven wire.
Well, there you go.
We just use it for anything that kind of aids in the betterment of, you know, the involvement of our students to give them the most enjoyable and educational experience.
Well, I think this is great, and I think this is a great fundraiser for something like that. So, yeah, I'm not condemning this. I think this is great. Plus, it's, you know, we're a small community, and a lot of different organizations have to raise money for different things. So anything you can do to help yourselves is just all the better.
And your grand opening on Saturday, April 15th goes from 7 a.m. to when?
Sell out.
Sell out, okay. So you're going to stay there all day?
Normally, I mean, to be honest, the last 2 years, by about late lunch, all we had left was about vegetables.
Wow.
So I would say maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
If we have things left over, the kids will sell. McCarley's in the greenhouse classes, so they'll be available during the day. But typically, it's
I think
Now,
there's
if
probably
I
some,
came out there to do that, which I probably will, where would I go?
So if you drive to the high school, you go around the parking lot and you'll see silver gates on the right of the gym. If you go through those gates and to the back, to the left, you'll see the greenhouses, and you should be able to park around there and then go inside. And
Okay.
I'd say follow the flow of traffic. We normally keep the gates closed till 7 just to get us, we get out there and set up, you know, our cashier's table and everything else. And then there will be a line at the gates. And so
I'm sure there will be.
I compare it to Black Friday. So we tell them no
do you
pushing,
get any
no
fights? Or
shoving.
we've
No.
been talking about, you know, babies getting into issues and all that stuff already.
Not the babies,
But
it's
the
the
parents
parents
or
that go home
grandparents,
there.
yeah.
But
yeah,
last year, there was probably, 20, 30 vehicles waiting at the gates at 7 a.m.
Has there been any area greenhouses that have contacted you and said, hey, how are you doing this? Because we have a greenhouse that's open, you know, 4 or 5 months out of the year, and we can't even get the sales like y'all do in just one day.
Yeah, all of it goes back to our community support.
Yeah.
There's a lot of parents and grandparents that were a member of the Woodbury FFA.
Oh, yeah.
Our chapter was chartered in 1938, so
Right.
it's 10 years after the existence of National FFA altogether. And so I just think that community support and a lot of those local businesses maybe played a role, maybe they sponsored another event and they're like, I want to give back to the students in our community. I think it also helps a lot that we're a single high school county. And so, you know, Rutherford or Wilson, they're having to compete with 7 or 8 different ag
Right.
programs. And there's just us. And so we appreciate that everyone's willing to come support us because that money doesn't go towards mine or Mr. Foster's pocket or anything else. Like, it goes directly back to the kids in our program, so.
And I think people know this. They're very well aware of this. And you're right, it does come to that community support because the community does want to support the local schools and everything they do.
And we like that.
I know you do.
It makes our jobs easier. We fundraise, I feel like, not frequently, but we do the tractor pull in the fall. We sell fruit around Christmas and then the greenhouse sale. So we give the kids a lot of opportunity to work for what they got. So
Now, your tractor pull in the fall is a big thing.
it's getting there, yes,
It
ma'am.
is, it really is. I'm surprised, and we'll have y'all back before that time, But I think the sale right here, let me see. Yeah, those are all good prices. Hey, you're going to pay that much for a fern or more. I don't care where you go. So I think this is a good deal. And I'm proud of y'all that y'all are doing really well. And for any of you that want those plants, she just told you, it may be a one-day event, so you better get there early. What type of hanging baskets do you have? What type of flowers?
So we have a lot right now, but the majority of our plants are petunias, spider plants, wandering Jews, and million bells. And then, of course, we have a few other ones. We have flats, we have begonias, marigolds, and then we have a few daisies and calais. And then, of course, we have our vegetables, which are peppers and tomatoes.
Okay. Well, the tomatoes ought to be a big seller. All right, girls, is there anything else you need to tell us?
Not that I can think of. We appreciate the support, so
Well,
everyone
that's
come
all
see us.
right.
Come early, that's our suggestion.
Come early and stay late.
Yeah.
If you come early enough, you got to start at 7. I've got a race that I'm doing on the same day at 6:45. So I'll try to get them along, and maybe they can run down to the high
Yeah.
school there and
And
participate.
we accept cash, card, or check.
Okay.
So any way they want to buy them, we'll sell them.
Gotcha. All right.
Okay. Well, there you go. Can't beat that. And when she says check, she means a good check.
Yes.
That always helps.
That always helps.
Thank you all.
And by the way, you're Carolyn certified on your prices. She's
I am. I'm going to
given
keep these
approval.
The seal of approval.
so I can tell everybody. Well, looky here what you get. All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. We had one more that I believe that the lady has forgotten she was supposed to be here today. And we have Cindy Bush, who is on our chamber board, and she is also the owner of 2 of our antique stores, one being the Iron Pig Antiques, and the other is Willow 22. Is it? 210.
210 Vintage Market right there.
Oh, there you go,
Yeah.
210. I knew there's numbers in there
You knew
somewhere.
you had a cheat sheet.
Anyway, they are sponsoring, or she's not sponsoring, but I think Cindy was instrumental in getting it put together. They're having a spring open house, and this will be on Friday, April 21st. The stores will open at 10 a.m. and they will stay open late until 8 p.m., the ones that are involved in this. And on Saturday, it will be from 10 until 5. And you can enjoy eats and treats and door prizes and savings and discounts and a lot of little special things. I think there may be a donut vendor that will be set up outside, but we don't want too many vendors that will compete with our businesses, because this is what it's all about. These events that we have around the square, we want you to shop our stores. And the ones involved in this at this time is the Willow 210 Vintage Market, which is on Water Street, the Iron Pig Antiques right there on Main Street, Jennings Jewelers, Beloved, which I believe is a consignment clothing shop, Rustic Grounds, which has specialty coffees, teas, and they'd also have sandwiches, My Little Place, which has a variety of items in it, clothing and other items, jewelry, Over the Hill Antiques, and we have to remember that we have a lot of businesses that are outside of the square, and Over the Hill Antiques is one of them. It's in Bradeville, it's on Bradeville Road, and it's a great antique store if you want to visit there. Used to be a horse stables, and so you have rooms and rooms of antiques. Great place to visit, a lot of fun. Lyons Pizza Den. Southern Roots is a fairly new business right on Main Street. They will be open for this, along with the Mad Merchant, which is on Main Street. The Cannon County Chamber of Commerce. I don't have a store down there, or the chamber doesn't, but we will be around and about, and we do answer questions, and we will be active in this. Gazaway Market and Antiques and Gifts. And again, I want to tell you that this is not on the square. It's in Gazaway. And their address is 217 Gazaway Main Street in, well, it's Liberty, Tennessee, but it is in Gazaway. So if you want to take a ride out there, they have a great little antique store along with a bank that they have completely renovated to make it the way it was when it was open. I think it was called the Melton Bank, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
But it's great to go in there and see that because it's all the original things. And that is on April 21st. Their biggest, that will be their biggest day, mainly because the merchants will be open until 8 p.m. So shop till you drop, as far as I'm concerned, because this will be a fun time for them and for you also. If you like to shop, this is a time to come. And we also have the old feed store. That's the one I left out. I knew there was another one. It is a great, on Water Street. They're located on Water Street, and they have a great antique store there, as well as, I believe, that their plant business, they do have an adjoining business to it that has flowers and plants. And I believe it opened on the 1st. So you might want to check out in there. They have feed. They sell all kinds of dog food, horse feed, any kind of animal you have. They have a feed store also. So those are the ones involved, and that will be on April 21st and 22nd. Along with, on the 22nd, will be our first cruise in of the season, the chamber, and it will be on the square from 4 to 7 p.m. And we invite all the cars and trucks and our previous cruisers to join us for that. We will have DTC there, and they will be giving away, I know, caps. I'm not sure if they have T-shirts or not, but they'll be giving away something. You can register for the TV that they give away at the car show in September. Shelter Insurance will be there, and they give out free drinks and snacks. And O'Reilly Auto Parts is responsible for most of the door prizes, and also the Moonlight Drive-In, because they make tickets to the drive-in available to our cruisers. You have to have a vehicle there in order to get a movie ticket. So that will be on the 22nd. And Keith, I believe that you have an event coming up, 5K.
Yeah, there's a couple of things coming up on April 15th. It's the Cannon Runs for Children, sponsored by the Child Advocacy Center. We're going to kick things off with registration at 6:45 at the Arts Center parking lot right here where we're taping this. Opening ceremony is going to be at 7:30. Now, I'm not for sure who our speakers are yet. We're supposed to have a meeting at 12 noon today, which I told them, I said, I'll be a little late to try to determine that. The 5K run or the walk will begin at 8 a.m. So if you want to come out and do that, it's $25 for adults, $15 for for seniors age 65 and up, and $5 for students 18 and under. I understand that we'll have several from the Cannon County cross-country program, which Coach Brian Elrod has done an excellent job. He actually has started an elementary and middle school, really focused on that this year. He held a meeting, and over 85 kids showed up for this meeting.
That's what he told me.
A couple of weeks ago. So it'd be nice to have all 85 participate in this, but it goes for a good cause. It is the Child Advocacy Center here in Cannon County, which helps children through who have experienced some trauma and have been victims of sexual abuse or just any type of abuse or anything that they need counseling, need services, and the Child Advocacy Center does a great job in helping that out. Another thing we do want to mention on April 15th, too, is that April 15th is going to be a busy week, or a busy day with the plant sale, the race. Moortown Volunteer Fire Department is holding their fish and chicken fry coming up from 4 to 7 p.m. That's going to be at the Moortown Volunteer Fire Department building. For more information, you can call Carolyn here. She'll get you that information if you've got it. If you don't,
I do.
Okay. Well, if not, there's an ad in the paper for the event, so you can check that
particulars.
out. So we have somebody waving at us.
Yes,
for
you
sure.
do.
And she's trying to hold this up to see if we could see it from way back there. Yeah.
Not even with his glasses can I do
you
that.
can't see anything with my glasses anymore.
Go ahead and
anyway.
sit down.
Come on. What have we got here? A watercolor class. Oh, that ought to be good.
Can you get that? We're gonna, the library is gonna have a class. Can I announce it? On the 26th, it's watercolors. We're gonna teach watercolors. We're gonna make like cards.
Oh.
People can just
On
make a set of cards.
what date was that?
Wednesday, April 26th at 10:30.
Who's teaching the class?
Amanda Willis.
Okay.
She's got her art degree. She's a very good artist.
Yeah.
And she's going to take them through it. It's 10:30 to 12 o'clock. It's an hour and a half.
And this will be at the library,
That's
right?
Upstairs at the library, yes.
Okay.
And you don't have to bring any supplies, it looks like.
That's right. Everything's covered by the library.
Okay.
And she'll go through, she'll explain what supplies if they want to buy them for their own personal use, but we'll have the supplies there that day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to learn to paint.
Yeah, I love watercolors.
I do too.
And she said there's techniques to dry it quickly, so they'll paint, dry, paint.
I used to just blow on mine. I guess
Hold
that's
it up
not
in the air and
that's-
shake it, you know? Yeah.
That's not the proper procedure.
Yeah, neither is holding it up in the air and shaking it either, but at any rate. So what do they need to do to reserve a seat?
Give us a call or come in and sign up. And the library's phone number is 615-563-5861. Yeah, just give a call and sign up. That's all you need to do. And it's open to teenagers and adults.
Okay. Well, that'll be
Thank
good.
you.
You should get several
Be nice.
that are good for
Well, if you're, teenagers probably in school that day, but, you probably get some few adults.
And there's homeschoolers.
Yeah, homeschoolers, yeah. That'd be a good educational opportunity for
Yeah,
them.
because she's going to teach a little class for
Yeah.
colors and techniques, and
There you go.
it's for beginners. It's a class for beginners.
Okay.
I mean, it's open to anyone.
Yeah.
Even though I've done that, that's where I need to be as a
So
beginner.
I'm going to put your name down there.
Oh, no. What is that?
She's going to put your name down as attending the class.
Well, I'm working that day. But if I get off, I would come to that. That is a good thing. All right, let me see. We're going to run out of time here. We also you have something else coming up, Keith, with the Cannon Courier, right?
Yeah, it's a Hall of Fame banquet that we do, the Sports Hall of Fame banquet and awards, and that's going to be on May the 18th. We are in the process of getting the class put together. The nominations ceased on the 31st, and we've had some very interesting nominations turned in this year. to go along with the other nominations of the people that aren't in the Hall of Fame just yet. And our secret committee will be meeting next week to, narrow it down to the 5 or 6 that we're going to have. So
Who are they?
we don't know yet. Oh, the secret committee? Yeah, nice. And see, that's the reason why I didn't say what day next week, because we don't want people hanging around the courier offices trying to camp out and trying to check. Oh, I know who it is now. Yeah, but
Okay, when is your actual dinner?
I think we're starting it at 7 p.m. on that day.
On the 18th,
Yeah, on the
okay.
18th, and it will be held here at the Arts Center. They do a really good job of hosting us, and we're very appreciative of that. We want to invite as many people as we can. We know last year we we had more. We didn't have any space left open.
Wow.
We didn't have any tables open for people to sit. They were sitting out in the lobby eating, So we kind of guessed that will be the
Well, this is
case
a
this year,
good
too.
thing because
Yeah.
you don't want blank spots.
Yeah, we didn't have any. We did not have a one, so
Well, there you go.
we're looking forward to that.
Well attended then at that. Let me see, we've got one that I'm going to go into a little further down the road, but I get a lot of calls about this event, and this will be the 6th annual townwide yard sale and craft fair. And this is going to happen June 3rd. And if you want a 10 by 10 booth around the square, it will be $25. And you don't have to pay anything if you want to have it at your home. They encourage the whole county, if they wanted to have a yard sale out in their yard, that's fine. But if you want a booth around the square, it's $25 for a 10 by 10. And you need to call Trish, and if you'll give the chamber a call, I'll be glad to give you their number. And all of the money that is collected from this goes to the Cannon County Community for Animals. Excuse me. And this is one of those events that grows every year. We have a lot of people that come in for that, a lot of people that set up for it. So that's going to be on June 6th.
June 3rd.
I'm sorry, June 3rd.
It's the
6th annual. Just don't be bossy to me.
Just trying to help you. It's also the same day, by the way,
I
that the
appreciate it.
Gazaway Homecoming Festival is going to be taking place. So you can
Okay, and
come
I
to the
didn't
yard
have
sale.
that event.
Come to the yard sale and the craft fair. Check
And
that
go to
out and
Gazaway.
go to Gazaway, and there'll be other
'Cause
crafts
they have
and stuff.
great-
Yard sales too, I'm sure.
Well, they have a great little event over there, community
Yeah,
event,
yeah.
is the Gazaway Homecoming. So, do you have anything else, Keith, that you
You go on
want to tell
Easter egg
people
hunting?
about?
There's an Easter egg hunt, I guess, April the 8th. That'll probably be.
It
before
is.
the
We
taping.
won't be on air,
Yeah.
I'm sure, by then.
But
No, I'm having an Easter egg hunt in my front and backyard on Easter, because I've got great-grandchildren now, so
is it like Christmas presents at your house? You wrap the Christmas present, you forget what you.
I've done that.
Yeah, she's going to plan out the Easter eggs and forget where she hid them.
Well, we found them later in the year. Yeah, we have done that on occasion. I remember one time, we had some neighbors that moved in before we had this, and this was when all my grandkids were small. And of course, there was 6 of them that came out there, so we hid eggs all over the yard. Well, we went back in the house, and the little kids that had moved in next door went out, had been watching, and they went out and got them all.
Well, here's one for you. We did an Easter egg hunt for some people, and we did plastic Easter eggs because now we can't afford Easter eggs, right? The price of eggs.
Well, I always
So,
put plastic ones
yeah, we
out
did the
there.
plastic ones, and we put little candies in them and
And
stuff
money.
like that. And get this, next door neighbor's dog came over and ripped through all of them before we could even start the Easter egg hunt. I mean, normally the neighbor, keeps the dog on the leash, not that day. And thankfully, didn't eat chocolate because that's where it would have really messed up. But we had a lot of Easter eggs. We probably had 100 Easter eggs gone,
We
destroyed.
used to hide about that
yeah.
many, too. And I remember later in the year, I'd be working in the flowers, and I think, well, here's an Easter egg. Here it is, already August, and here's an Easter egg. That's okay, it's a lot of fun, and I missed it when the kids and the grandkids all grew up, so now I got 4 little ones, so that'll
be fun.
they'll get excited.
Yeah.
I don't know how excited they get. They're at an age where, well, this will probably be the first, well, I know it is, the first one that 3 of them have been to. And they probably won't have a clue what they're supposed to go out there and do, you know?
Well, just get some experience, you know. That's
Well,
always
yeah,
something.
you got to start somewhere.
Play some kid music and watch them bounce around, you know, whatever.
I did mention earlier that the weather forecast is expecting a little stormy weather for tonight. We want to wish everybody, we want to tell you to get you a safe place to go to, really.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying
you have one. I
this
don't know.
tornado season is going to be one of the most active seasons that we've had in quite a while throughout the United States, as
Thank
far as
you,
that's
Keith.
concerned. So, yeah, safety is, get a safe space.
We do want you to be safe, and that's all we have for this month, so we also want to wish you a very happy Easter.